Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam Jai Srila
Hello,
Prabhupada.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
We are in Angas of Bhakti, right? So
Yes,
we have finished it until 10 Angas.
yes. Thank you. Let me share my screen. Okay, so just to let's- yeah, so just to give it a background where we are in the second chapter of the first section of Bhakti Rasāmṛta Sindhu. Bhakti Rasāmṛta Sindhu is divided into four sections. We are in the second chapter of that first section, and we are looking into Vaidhi Bhakti. And now we initially looked at what is Vaidhi Bhakti, and what we attain from Vaidhi Bhakti, and who are the qualified persons for Vaidhi Bhakti. And now we are looking at what constitutes the Vaidhi Bhakti. What are all the different practices that you do in Vaidhi Bhakti? Those are practices are called Angas of Bhakti. And the Angas there are so many Angas, so many practices are there which are mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas. We are looking at 64 of them as Rupa Goswami has given, which are widely known. And we have looked at first 10 of them already, as Radha Kunda Mataji said. We will start from the 11th one. So the first 10 are taking shelter of feet of Guru, taking Krishna Diksha, followed by Shiksha from Guru, doing service to Guru in confidence. So these three are Seva to Guru. Then following after the footsteps of previous sadhus, questioning about devotional activities, that Sadharma Pritcha. You should ask questions. Through that, our knowledge will develop. Then giving up enjoyment for Krishna and living in Dwaraka and other holy places as well as near Ganga. And pursuit of wealth should only be done for maintenance of body. We should not pursue wealth for enjoyment. Observing vratas like Ekadashi, Janmashtami, so on. Then we should respect the trees like Amla tree, Ashwatha tree. So these are just summaries. In detail, each of these sanghas will be later looked into by Rupa Swami himself. So take it as a high level summary, and then later for every one of these angas mentioned here, he will give multiple quotations and much more explanations what exactly this mean. And we also have the commentary of Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti as well. So the next one is this two. Okay, 10 are completed. 11th one. Okay. And these 10 are also mentioned. Esham atra dasanganam bhavet prarambha rupata. So these are the beginning activities or preliminary activities. These 10 are called preliminary. So let's write it. Preliminary activities. Anyways, okay. Sangatyagaha vidurena bhagavat vimukaihi janaihi. So we should give up the association of non-devotees. Bhagavat Vimukha. That means those who have turned their face away from the Lord. They are not interested in the Lord. Huh? They do not have any interest in the Lord. They are enjoying the material world nicely. Or those who are opposed to the Lord. Both are applicable. And how we should give up their association? Vidurena. We should keep them far apart. We should not go near to them and take their association. So it doesn't mean that in the office when we go, we look at other people, we just stay far away from them. Don't come close to me. We don't say like that. What exactly it means is that we will not take advice for life from them. We will not reveal our hearts to them. So those kind of activities, we keep them far apart. Okay. Shishyadi anubandhitvam. Sishyadi ananubandhitvam. Sishyadi ananubandhitvam. So we should not be attached to making disciples. Etc. is also given. So it will be explained what all these things later. But what exactly we should not make disciples means we are seeing that so many gurus in ISKCON are making disciples. Prabhupada himself made a lot of disciples, and then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur made disciples. But then you go up, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur had disciples, and you have other Narottam Das Thakur had disciples. So many stalwart devotees in our sampradaya had disciples. So what exactly means we should not be attached to making disciples. We'll see that later. Maharambhadi Anudyamaha. Maharamba means great beginning or great endeavor. We should not do great endeavors. Like, for example, I'm going to become the president of the United States. That's a great endeavor. Or I'm going to earn $1 million or $1 billion. Nowadays, million is actually, it's a very small number, looks like. But, I'm going to make $1 billion. I'm going to make a big company. I'm going to build so many houses, big houses, so on and so forth. So these are all like big tasks. So we do not endeavor those kind of big tasks. Bahugrantha kala abhyasa vyakyavada vivarjanam. So one should give up studying many books. Bahugrantha. Kala means half-baked. So one should give up studying half-baked study of many books. Some portion here, some portion there, some portion there, so that I can just show up. I know many books. So quoting here, quoting there, quoting there. I can show off to others that I know many books. So by this, what happens? We don't understand fully that book. That's one thing. Then later, Jiva Goswami will also explain what is Bahugrantha. That means we should not study even Bhakti scriptures also. We have a lot of scriptures. We look at Bhanuswami Maharaj, he has translated 200 plus books of Bhakti. Should we study them or we should just give up because Rupa Goswami is saying that Bahugrantha Kala Abhyasa, we should not do study of many books. Anyways, Kala Abhyasa, we should give up partial studying of many books as well as studying of many books itself. We'll look at what those books are later. Vyakyavada Vivarjanam, argumentative mentality. Studying many books, we go and argue with others. That should be given up. Vyavahare api akarpanyam. So in your normal day-to-day activities, you should not be a kripana. Kripana means you have the same word used in Bhagavad Gita also by Arjuna, karpanya dosho bhagata swabhava. So you should not be a kripana in regular activities. So what is kripana? I looked at the definition of kripana by Madhusudana Saraswati in that particular verse of Bhagavad Gita. So he says, Yaha swalpam api chitta shatim na shamate sa kripanaha iti loke prasiddhaha. That means a person, when he gets little bit hurt in the heart, he's not able to tolerate. That person is a kripana. Some person comes to you and then says little bit, Prabhu, you don't do this activity nicely. Or your intelligence is not so much. Or you have said this something wrong. Or, you are not looking good. Whatever it is. Small things, it is hurting your heart. If a person cannot even tolerate that, that person is a kripana. So which means we should not feel miserable for small things. We should give up that. Vyavahare api akarpanyam. Shokadi avashavartita. Shokadi avashavartita. So we should not be overcome by emotions like lamentation and so on. Many times in our life, day-to-day life, sad things happen, but we should not let ourselves overcome by that. Vasha. We should not be controlled by that. It doesn't mean that we don't even get those emotions. We get all these emotions, but we should not become subjugated by that. We should not be controlled by those emotions. Like, for example, I have anger. Anger comes, and then out of anger, I being controlled. I go and fight with others or say harsh things toward others. So that should not happen. Anyadeva anavigyacha. Anyadeva anavigya. We should not disrespect other devatas. No, I worship Krishna. I'm going to disrespect Shiva, or talk bad about Shiva, and talk bad about Kali or Indra. Indra is such a fool. These kind of statements we should not make. These are all other devatas. We should not disrespect them because they are also servants of the Supreme Lord. Going and disrespecting them is also an offense. So we should give up that. Many times we see, especially in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, that or the devotees who are following that, we see in our ISKCON, sometimes devotees come and say, Indra is a very bad person. He does this or that all the time. Now we should not hold that kind of mentality. We are disrespecting those other devatas. And in general, you would see, especially in South India, the Vaishnavas and Saivites, they fight with each other. And in that, they say harsh things about other devata. The Saivites speak bad things about Vishnu, and the Vaishnavas speak bad things about Shiva. Those things should be avoided. Disrespecting other devatas should be avoided. Bhuta Anudvega Daita. So one should not agitate other living entities. So we have the no meat eating comes into this principle. We should not agitate other living entities means we should not create any violence physically or mentally. Mentally also we should not agitate others. Saying something, shouting at them, or saying harsh things. These things will agitate other person. So we should try not to agitate other living entities, and also violence, which is like killing other animals, going and eating meat, all these things. Sevanama paradhanam udbhava abhavakarita. So we should avoid seva and nama aparatas. So 32 seva aparatas are there. Seva aparata means when we are serving the deity form of the Lord in the temple, there are 32 offenses that one should avoid, which will be listed later by Jiva Goswami. We look at that. And also the nama aparatas, which are the 10 nama aparatas. We know we should try to avoid that. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur would later say that, in the sadhaka's life, it is difficult not to do this aparadas. But when that happens, one should be more and more careful next time to avoid those things. That's what we should endeavor for, avoiding those things. We should not consciously go and do those things. Krishna tadbhakta vidvesha vinindadi asahushnuta. So if somebody is criticizing Krishna or his devotees, we should not tolerate that, which means we should leave that place. At least, we should not stand and hear those things. We shouldn't, okay, let me tolerate, let me practice tolerance. He's blaspheming about Krishna, let me practice tolerance. And then smile and stay there. We should not tolerate that. Vyatirekataya amisham dashanam syat anustitihi. So these 10 things which we have listed here, these should be avoided. The first 10 are do's. You should do these first 10 things, and these are don'ts. You should not be doing. So these are preliminary activities. Let's call them do's. These are don'ts. अस्याः तत्र प्रवेशाय द्वारवत्वे अपि अंगविंशतेः त्रयां प्रधानामेव उक्तं गुरुपादाशय आदिक्यम्. So these 20 activities which are listed here, the first 10 are the do's, preliminary activities, and the next 10 are the don'ts. These 20 activities together are called door to Bhakti. That means every one of us have to follow these 20 things. If you want to enter into Bhakti, Bhakti is like a palace, if you think like that, then there is a door. you have to open the door and then you have to enter. That means you have to follow these 20 things. The other angas, which will be later listed, that you have a choice. I can follow this, I can follow that, I can, take this one. You have a choice. But these first 20, we have to necessarily follow, every one of us who are calling themselves as devotees, or you want to become a devotee, right? So we have to follow this. However, though these 20 are called door to bhakti, the first three, which is these are the first three. So the first three, taking shelter of feet of Guru, taking Krishna Diksha followed by Shiksha, and doing service to Guru in confidence. So these three are very, very important. Though the first 20 should be followed, door to bhakti, one should necessarily, very, very necessarily follow these three things. Basically, taking shelter of Guru and taking Shiksha and Diksha from that person, and then doing service to him. So these are very, very important. Then, for doing that, everything else should be followed. Okay, so we will stop here. We'll continue from here next week. Any questions, comments?
Rajun Prabhu, if you don't mind, can you post this 20 in the group, in our group, copy and paste?
Yes, pros. We'll do that, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much for, taking a lot of effort to narrate these significant and important principles of, principles which actually strengthen our bhakti.
Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhu. Thank you so much for taking your time for all of us, Prabhu, and sharing your knowledge very nicely every week. We are so grateful for your service for us, Prabhu. So you said that, okay, these will be explained in a very, very detailed manner by Srila Rupa Goswami in the coming verses in the same scripture, right? In the Bhakti Rasāmṛta Sindhu only, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we will be able to understand more.
Once this 96th verse is completed, if you look at, after that, again, he starts Tatra Guru Pada Ashrayaha, then he gives example, quotation, and then you will have a commentary on that. So this will be every, the Krishna Diksha, the Shikshanam, taking Shiksha and Diksha from Guru, serving Guru in confidence. All these things will be explained, with a quotation, well, some things with multiple quotations as well.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too.
Listen from you all these things. I'm so happy that you took up the task. And I'm grateful to Shankarana Prabhu also for his request for you to do this service seva for all of us. I'm so excited, Prabhu. I want to hear the whole BRS from you.
Thank you. No,
Yeah.
thanks to Shankarana Prabhu who encouraged me to take this task. This is actually a great task. So one of the things here is mentioned is not endeavoring to make big achievements, but we will see that later that one should not try to make big achievements in material things. So spiritually, you can make big achievements. That's what Jiva Goswami will comment on that. So, anyways, I'm just giving you prelude. So it's a big endeavor, studying the entire Bhakti Rasāmṛta Sindhu. But for the pleasure of Krishna and devotees like Shankarananda Prabhu, we can do that.
Yeah, Prabhu, I have this first time I'm understanding Krupana, right? Krupana is in Bhagavad Gita, it's a different kind of meaning, right? I mean,
So
Krupana.
Bhagavad Gita only I'm saying. So that definition is actually taken from the commentary of Bhagavad Gita. So Karapanya dosha, when he says that, he's actually feeling miserable internally. So he became a Kripana. That means he himself is saying that for small things, I am too much agitated in heart.
But
That is
that
what
is not a small thing, right? In actually this thing, it's a big thing.
He feels like that. He feels like that for for a person like Arjuna, losing the relatives fighting for dharma, he should not be agitated by that, but he feels that, this is a small thing, I'm being agitated by that. That's why he calls himself a kripana. A kripana is a person who cannot tolerate little bit hurt to the heart.
Okay. Yeah, if that is a little bit hurt, and even in the practical life, actually, I will get hurt even for very small, minute things. That's why I'm just thinking, it's such a bad habit that, one has to be very fixed, right? And shouldn't get agitated by others, or, I mean, we have to be very, very tolerant in situations. But if for even every small damn thing, actually, I get hurt immediately. So I'm actually.
Yeah, same here, Mataji. I think that's why Prabhupada says that, you should have a cool head. That we should not so much, something bad happens to us, somebody says bad thing, stop meditating on that. We should completely
Immediately
forget
we
it.
will get affected with that, and throughout the day it goes for continuously for a week or something like that, right? So I'm really worried about that. I should come out of that. And moreover, what is agitating others, Prabhuji? I mean, agitating others, not agitate others, living entities
Yes,
means
we should. We should not give them
pain or anything like that.
pain. Exactly. We should not give them physical as well as mental pain.
Mhm. Yeah, these two things are very, I
Yeah.
understand, they're very important.
So basically, on the one hand, we should not go and speak harsh things towards others. But if somebody speaks harsh thing toward us, then we should tolerate it. Basically, we should not be hung up on that and then being agitated internally. So we should not be agitated, but we should not also agitate others. So you can take that.
Nice, Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, thank you. Devotees will stop here. Continue from next week. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गौरी वैष्णव की जय। हरे कृष्ण।